Okay, so random wild story time. Because I'm talking to somebody in the comments about this, so I figured I'd just go ahead and put the story out there. When I was staying in the hostels, okay, when I first got here to California, I stayed in hostels, Airbnbs, the cheapest possible ones that were available. $25 a night for a bunk in a room with as many other beds as would fit. At one point, I was in a garage with 10 men and 3 dogs. It was the men's area. They didn't know why I was in there. Apparently, they just got confused and put me in the men's section for a little bit. But eventually, they moved me out of the outdoor garage with the men and put me in the actual house. And I had a run-in with a man there. His name was Mosta. I will never forget Mosta. Mosta was a piece of shit. We got in a fight about something, and I don't even remember what we were arguing about, but he pissed me off. And the next morning, I got up and I was cooking breakfast. I was standing at the stove over a skillet with potatoes and sausage and onions and bell peppers. I think they call it potatoes O'Brien. And as I'm standing there with my spatula in my hand, just cooking my breakfast, arms come across my shoulders, hugging me. And he's on my ear, whispering, "Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. That looks so good." As if we were a romantic couple and I was cooking him breakfast after a fight. And I fucking snapped. I threw my arms up so that he would get off of me, and I started screaming. And I left the building. I had to walk out of the building. They had to go and turn the food off and deal with all of this because I was in complete panic mode. This man had no right to touch me, no right to be whispering in my ear. No. Right? I just paid $25 to stay there that night. I'm not there for this. So he gets kicked out. And it's not my word against his. Other people saw him do this. There's houses full of people. So other people saw this happen. They have no choice but to kick Mosta out. Mosta has to go to another house. The problem is the other houses don't like Mosta because he does this stuff. And the only house that will keep him is the one I'm staying at because his friends are running this house. And so a few days after that, they come to me and they tell me that I can't stay at that house anymore because I have broken HIPAA, and they're afraid of a lawsuit. Because I talk about my mental health problems a lot, and they say, well, you're too open with your issues, and it's a HIPAA violation. You are a walking HIPAA violation, and we're not putting ourselves in danger by housing you anymore. So once your funds that you've paid for is up, you have to leave. Before I actually left, Mosta was back staying at the house. And I would hear whispering behind me in every room I went to. Where's Mosta? Has she seen him? Does she know he's here? He's not allowed to be here if she's here. Make sure he's not in the same room. Make sure she does. They were trying to stop me from knowing that they had given him a place to stay again, but I obviously knew. It was not. There were a lot of people in that house. There was not that much room to hide. You're not hiding under one of those bunk beds. And it seemed to me weird at the time that it would be for a HIPAA violation. I have to go now and be homeless because I violated HIPAA by talking about my own medical issues. And that's what they're telling me. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. I'm not going to fight you on it because I don't know the laws, but that doesn't make any sense. But that's what happened. And the thing is, the people that run these hostels, they're not the most professional people in the world. Right? The dude that told me that I needed to leave because of a HIPAA violation, he carried a spoon and a little tiny blowtorch with him all the time. You can guess what he was doing. So it was a crazy, it was an experience. It was an experience.